Race for the White House now. Biden and Trump both clinched their party's nominations overnight, making their rematch official. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the latest on the race and the testimony by the special counsel who investigated President Biden's handling of classified documents. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, the 2024 election is now set. Overnight, President Biden and Donald Trump both crossing that delegate threshold to clinch and become their party's presumptive nominees. And that hearing yesterday with the special counsel, the front lines of this fight, a proxy battle for the arguments at the heart of what is going to be a very long campaign. This morning, as the two frontrunners lock in their nominations, the central arguments of this campaign front and center at a contentious congressional hearing in Washington.
The committee will come to order.
The hearing political from the start, beginning with dueling campaign-style videos, trying to paint the other party's presumptive nominee as unfit. Over 5 hours, former special counsel Robert Hur facing hostile questions from Democrats and Republicans. Both sides furious with his report that concluded President Biden mishandled classified documents, but should not be prosecuted.
We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. We did not, however, identify evidence that rose to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Democrats raking him over the coals for what they called a gratuitous attack on Biden's age and memory. Hur saying in his report that one of the reasons Biden should not be prosecuted is because he would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Democrats accusing the former U.S. attorney of a political hit job.
You understood when you made that decision, didn't you, Mr. Hur, that you would ignite a political firestorm with that language, didn't you?
Congressman, politics played no part whatsoever in my investigative steps.
You say it wasn't political, and yet you must have understood. You must have understood the impact of your words.
Hur defended his conclusions.
That partisan politics had no place whatsoever in my work. It had no place in the investigative steps that I took. It had no place in the decision that I made, and it had no place in a single word of my report.
Republicans also on the attack, hammering home questions about Biden's mental acuity, but also asking whether Biden should not be prosecuted just because he's sympathetic.
One of the points you make is that President Biden is likely to be an elderly, sympathetic figure with a poor memory. But how does that bear on any individual's guilt or innocence? Isn't that, again, a question for a judge or jury to decide?
Democrats emphasizing Hur found that Biden fully cooperated with the investigation, unlike Donald Trump, who faces 40 criminal counts related to his alleged mishandling of classified documents.
Did you find that President Biden engaged in a conspiracy to obstruct justice?
No.
Did you find that President Biden engaged in a scheme to conceal?
No.
Hur insisting he did not exonerate Biden entirely, instead concluding there was insufficient evidence.
I need to go back and make sure that I take note of a word that you used, exoneration. That is not a word that
I'm going to continue with my questions. I'm going to continue with my questions. I know that the term
I ultimately reached related to whether sufficient evidence existed such that the likely outcome
you exonerated
would be a conviction.
I know that the term willful retention has a
But the White House is now declaring this case closed. Republicans are still pushing for the audio of Biden's interview, but the White House tells us they don't think that's necessary. Robin.
All right, Mary, our thanks to you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.